Did you know that the average price of homes here in California is over $800,000? Well, I'm going to share with you a city here in Southern California that the average price is under $500,000. Now, that way you can avoid paying any high rents and buy something affordable. What city is that? That's here in Fontana. And we're going to go over the good, the bad, the ugly, and some of the uniqueness that Fontana has to offer. And by the end, you're going to be able to tell whether or not you should decide to move out here or pick someplace else. So let's talk about housing affordability. Here in Fontana, average home price is under $500,000. Now the homes behind me, the homes in this community, they are a little bit higher, actually a lot bit higher, but there are some homes here that are maybe a little bit older that do fit that price profile. And that's one of the major advantages of living here in Fontana, is that housing affordability. There's a good mix of bigger homes, $1 million homes in these private communities on golf courses, to older homes, older communities where you can find a lot more affordability. So if affordability is your thing, come out here to Fontana. They are building more and more homes. They are building more and more new communities. In these communities, they have great amenities like new dog parks, new pools, barbecue areas, hang out here, play games. This one here is right in front of these housing. So let's say you're bored and you don't want to be at home, go across the street, hang out here for a bit with you, your family, your friends, your dog, and you're gonna have yourself a good time. I'm a real estate broker here in the area, so if you're looking to buy a home, get a mortgage, refinance, whatever it is that has to deal with real estate, give me a call. I'm here to help you guys out. And if you want exclusive access to homes that are not on the market, some of these off-market properties, reach out. I give you free access to all the homes that are yet to hit the market. Here's my contact information. Send me a text, send me an email, give me a call, whatever you want to do. So you might say, well, what's the catch? Because there's always a catch, right? How come the homes here are less expensive? Well, because believe it or not, according to this website, crime is a little bit higher. Now, there's different pockets of Fontana where crime spikes and where it dips. So when you're out here, make sure you do your research, do your little due diligence, make sure you're moving into a safe neighborhood, a safe for you neighborhood. See, I grew up in the Bronx, so all these neighborhoods look pretty good to me, right? I couldn't find a bad neighborhood. So if you're looking for a community to match where you're coming from, then yeah, you're gonna have to dig a little bit deeper to find some of these nicer communities that are a little bit safer for what you want. And if you like the info I'm sharing, go ahead, hit subscribe, hit like the video. I go over a bunch of different neighborhoods, a bunch of different cities here on the channel. That way you're on top of what's going on, what new communities are being built, how much things cost, what's the cost of living. It's a lot of helpful information that I share. So one thing I did like about Fontana when I first moved out here and I started investigating where I actually want to live and stuff like that, is that they are building a bunch of new parks. They have this aquatic center where you could take swimming classes and things like that. Now I'm going to share with you that if you take those classes, there's going to be a lot of people there. They usually sell out. So like this, I don't know, 1 or 2 teachers, swimming teachers per like 20 kids or something like that. I have a colleague that told me that she took the class once and she feels that her kid didn't get the best attention when it came to swimming. He didn't end up learning how to swim. Now, I don't know, I haven't taken the class, but they do offer these type of classes. So maybe you might have a different experience. They have a lot of free events. They have a lot of free concerts in the park. They have this really cool playground that I take my son to. It's further away from where I live, but if I'm out here anyway, bring him along. He likes playing in these type of playgrounds. Who wouldn't, you know? So they're still building, they're still investing in the area. So here's something that you definitely need to know about Fontana. This is one of the negatives. There are tons and tons of warehouses, millions and millions of square feet of warehouses here in Fontana. It's a big trucking community, big logistics community. I think Amazon has like 15 warehouses around here, something like that. So what does that mean? So you might think like warehouses is a good thing and jobs is a good thing, and it is. I'm pro job, pro warehouse, pro everything, right? But you're gonna run into the air quality. You have a lot more trucks out here, so air quality, according to this website, air quality is really bad. So if you have someone with asthma or just respiratory problems, you may want to consider someplace else, because the air quality, you might consider a whole different region and not the Inland Empire, because according to the website, most places here in the Inland Empire have poor air quality. I have a relative that has breathing issues, so I know they have problems when they're out here. I'd say another pro about Fontana is how diverse it is. You have tons of different ethnicities, nationalities. People from all over the world live out here, all over Asia, South America, the United States. I mean, look at me, I'm from the Bronx, I came out here, right? My family from Ecuador, so there's some Ecuadorians out here as well, not too many. You have a lot of diversity, and I think that brings some value. Why? Because you have different point of views, you have different cuisines that you can enjoy. So it's a lot of benefits when it comes to having that type of diversity. There's quite a few international grocery stores as well, so you get that benefit. If you want to go to the Asian market, Mexican market, Indian market, there's the one on Baseline called the International Market. You can check that out, and you get food from all over the world, any type of ingredient you're looking for. So if you want to find a place that matches what you want, because maybe that might be your thing, maybe that might not be your thing, reach out. That's why you need to reach out to me, and I'll be able to help you and guide you in the right direction to find you the best home that fits what you're looking for. All right, so here's something you definitely need to know about Fontana. It gets hot. It gets really hot. 110 degrees, 115 degrees. Not maybe 115, but like 105 is known. You know, when it hits 103, you're like, oh, it's just a regular day in Fontana. So yeah, the weather here in the summertime can get crazy hot. And what does that mean really? Well, your AC costs are going to be higher in the summertime. You're not going to be able to enjoy being outside during that time as much, because man, it's hot. It's real hard to be out here at 1 o'clock when it's 105 degrees. So if you see people walking around, you got to think there's something up with them, because who wants to walk around 105 degree weather? You know, that's just too much. And for some reason, just based on where like it is, and the geography and the mountains and the valleys, there's something called Santa Ana winds, where like in November and certain times of the year, it gets really windy. I mean, roofs blow over, trucks get blown over. I was on the highway once and I saw like 11 trucks blown off to their side. I mean, they just pushed over, just laying down, like one after another. It was a crazy sight. So that's something else to consider when they talk about, oh, you got these Santa Ana winds. Yeah, it gets really windy. That's when the air quality gets really bad, because it kind of dusts up everything that's on the floor, all the dirt, all the brake dust, just gets blown around. You start breathing that stuff in. Yeah, it's not a good feeling. Now, location-wise, I would say it's I mean, just here in the Inland Empire, it's a good area to be in, as long as you're okay with driving a little bit over an hour to get to certain places. Because from here to Disney, about an hour. The beach, an hour. The mountains, they're a little bit closer, so let's say 45 minutes, right? Or the bigger mountain, like an hour and a half. You want to go to the winery, about an hour. Everything's like an hour away. So as long as you're okay with jumping in your car and driving an hour to get someplace, then you're okay, then that's fine. Because locally, there's not too much to do. There used to be the raceway, like the NASCAR raceway, but they're gonna shut that down to, guess what? Build more warehouses, more trucks. So that was a positive. Whenever the race was going on, there was a big event. It was like a whole weekend, tons of RVs parked on the lawn. It was huge. It was a huge event for the community, but that's gone away. Now you got to drive next door, maybe go to Ontario Mills, which is like the town next over. There's Victoria Gardens. So a lot of people here go to like Rancho in Ontario to shop, have dinner, things like that. They are building more shopping centers, you know, so that's a good part, because they're investing in the community, which is really good. Anytime I see construction or investments in the community, I'm really happy to see that, because that just means more jobs. That means more value into real estate. That means people who live here are going to benefit. More tax dollars to be squandered away, and part of it being used for the community members. So I always like to see that. Now, I'm in a private community. It's gated. So they do have a lot of greenery around here, a lot of trees that they're growing. But typically, you're not going to see stuff like this in Fontana, unless you go to a private community. All these homeowners pay extra for all this stuff. You see a lot of empty lots and big signs that say, if you see dust, give us a call. Why? Because there's a lot of dust. It dries out, and it's just there's not a lot of greenery. There's not a lot of trees. There's not a lot of tree-lined streets. So that's something you're going to run into. That's something you're going to see that's going to be different if you're coming from someplace else. Now, if you're coming from like a desert area up the hill, if you're coming from like Arizona where there's no trees and stuff, well, from what I understand, then it's okay. You're not going to have any issues with that. But if you're coming from anywhere else, up north, northeast, where there's trees galore and there's shade galore, yeah, you're not going to find that out here. So like I said, if you're driving to a different part of the town, different part of the region to go and enjoy yourself, if you're driving to like Rancho, Upland or something like that, you and everybody else is doing the same thing. So you're gonna run into some traffic as well. Like from, I would say 2 o'clock to around 6 o'clock, that 10 freeway gets packed, both directions. The 210 around same time also gets packed, but going only in the eastbound direction. So you're gonna run into some traffic. Overall though, I would say if you find a nice pocket, a nice community to live in, Fontana is a pretty great place to move to. They have some decent schools. I got a postcard from Chaffee Community College that any high school student here in California can take college classes for free while they're in high school. So they can get an associate's degree at the same time they get their high school diploma. So you have that benefit. And I haven't heard too much about that from any other school. So that's a benefit. Now that extends not just to Fontana, to everywhere, but still a benefit. And if you're not sure if Fontana's for you and you're saying, hey Oscar, I want to know if I can go into Ontario, because that's a really nice place. That's where I live. That's where I currently live. But you don't know if you can afford it. I did a video, you can watch it right here, on what it actually costs to live in Ontario. And you can find out if it's affordable for you or not. And if you need any help finding a location, finding a home to buy, go ahead and reach out to me. I'm a real estate broker here. Give me a call, send me a text. I'll check you guys out later.